Alright folks, we are in the shop. I'm gonna have to take a break from doing the transfer case. I actually, as you can probably see, the frame is gone. I have dropped it off yesterday at the powder coating place. Alright, so there it is. This thing was bare metal probably a week or two ago, but anyways, here we are. Vicious powder coating. Work up with them. So I actually need to take advantage of the space that is available to me in this shop right now. So normally this rear axle has been tucked against the door and the frame's kind of on top of it and hard to get at. So this axle is a Dana 80. I've already gone through and put new ring and pinions. I went with Yukon 411 ring and pinion, an ARB air locker. And aside from that, it's pretty much stock. I put new brake lines and brake hoses on it and stuff, but there's still a lot of things that I've never pulled apart, and it's time to get into that now. I'm also going to pull the drums off and have a look at the brakes. I'm going to need to get a new parking brake cable. I have no idea what the rear brakes, what their condition is like, but I'm going to start picking things apart and get into it and see what we see. When you first look at them probably on video, they just look like a brake drum, but compared to the ones I've normally seen, the first time I saw these, I was pretty surprised how big they are. These still work fine. The rear brakes lock up. The rear ABS isn't functioning anymore. I'm gonna have to go through that and hopefully I can get it figured out, but they are pretty crusty, and the fact that I can't get them off means that they're probably have a big groove worn in them. So I'll pull them off. I would expect I'm probably going to be getting new ones, but we'll see when we get in there. Anyways, though, this is going to be the first task, is trying to get these things off and have a look inside, see what's going on. Okay, I left these lug nuts here for safekeeping, but now time to pop them off. Now I'll pop this drum off, hopefully. Oh wow, not sure how well you can see that, but pretty good groove in there. All this toxic brake dust, I should dump this over here. Okay, well, I've got both drums off. Took a little bit of wrestling to get it done, but it's done. The brake components are, I guess, about what I was expecting, dirty, old, gross, but still functional. Next up, I'm just gonna start pulling off all the stuff on here, brake lines, breather hoses, sway bar, all sorts of stuff. I'm just going to leave the crane hooked up to it. It's handy. Sometimes I got to move the stands around, but also this thing's, with the drums on, could easily be 400 pounds. So, I'm going to do everything I can to keep it stable. I got it up on stands, so it's a little easier to work on, but definitely want to keep things safe. First up, I'm going to remove the sway bar. Now I'm going to pull off what's left of this old parking brake cable. Now I'll start picking these brake lines apart. Okay, brake line out. Okay, well, we're basically down to a bare axle. Now it's time to start getting her down to nice clean metal. Alright, well, I've gotten about as much scraped as I can. And unfortunately for me, that means it is time for the wire wheel. Okay, well, it is days later. I've been working on this thing like crazy. As you can tell, I got the brakes completely pulled apart. Backing plates, the studs that go in there, everything is off. And then I got the hub area masked off. It was a lot of work getting this thing down to bare metal. And not just getting it to bare metal, but getting it degreased to a point where I feel comfortable painting it was a big job. Wow, did that ever take a long time to get done. Okay, it is at least a couple of days later, maybe 3 days later. All the wire wheeling, picking apart all the dirty old brake parts and stuff like that. I will show the process of getting it all back together, but I didn't want to take too much time getting this done, because I am kind of expecting a call any day to get the frame back from the powder coater, and as you can see, I don't have much floor space in here, so I really would like to get this axle painted and tucked in a corner right away. So anyways, I got this stuff here. This is Dominion Sure Seal, which I think might be a Canadian company. There's the automotive self-etch primer, and then I've got this, hold on. And then I've got this stuff called Easy Liner from the same company. It's like a do-it-yourself bed liner. This is actually the same stuff I put on the Xterra front bumper. It was between this and Duplicolor bed liner. I'm sure either one would have been fine, but because I have a good history with this stuff, I decided to use it again. So in the instructions, they want the space to be 20 degrees Celsius or warmer, which is about 70 Fahrenheit. That's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I've had 2 heaters going in here for at least a couple hours now, and we should be getting close. The other thing they want it scuffed with 320 grit, and I've already gone at this thing pretty heavily with a wire wheel, so I would imagine it's probably scuffed, and I've already done very extensive degreasing and wax and grease remover and all that, but I'm going to go ahead and just follow the instructions and give it a good scuff everywhere with 320, clean it up again with wax and grease remover, and then I should be ready to go with primer. Alright, next I got some of this USC wax and grease and silicone remover. With painting, it is all about the prep work, so trying to go over this stuff as thoroughly as you can stand is probably a good idea. This step can get very tedious, but you know, just keep going over it and over it and over it, and with a real dirty old chunk of metal or something that was rusty for years or really greasy, it almost feels like the stuff just keeps leaking out of there endlessly. But it's a good idea to do this as good as you can possibly stand. Painting is probably like 90% prep work. It's just crazy how much work goes into the stuff that isn't even painting.
My sleeve, I am just me, that is just me. Give her my life, give her my truth. I hope you give them some too. Give them some. Give her my heart, one on my sleeve. I am just me, that is just me. Give her my life, give her my truth. I hope you give them some too. Give them some. Your dial's tuned to Mr. Justin Brave. I put the metal to the music till it rusts away, till it's back to the dirt and in trust I lay, waiting for the wind to blow the dust away. Now I must relay, I'm making these tracks so the club it shakes, like I'm waving a bat, like they owe me something, so I'm taking it back. 15, 20 Sedgwick in every rap. I remember them days when the songs filled the void, headphones quaking on that little boy. Had a lot of fight in them, and that never left. Now the speakers bump hard and his raps they check. Never forget where you came from, son, especially in moments when the brain's gone numb, especially when you think that you're on top, cause it only takes a blink for it all to stop. Give her my heart, one on my sleeve. I am just me, that is just me. Give her my life, give her my truth. I hope you give them some too. Give them some. Give her my heart, one on my sleeve. I am just me, that is just me. Give her my life, give her my truth. I hope you give them some too. Give them some.
Boy, oh boy, is that ever looking better. Still wet, you'll see a couple spots. You'll see a couple spots that look a little blotchy, but that has got 3 coats of primer, 3 coats of this stuff on it, and compared to how it was, oh my god, this is a million times better. Alright, well I'm going to talk quick. The fumes in here are terrible and I want to get out of here. The last can, I bought 2 cans thinking that that was going to be plenty, and it actually was about 1.5 cans per coat. So I went to the store while it was drying, and I think I bought 3 more, so 5 cans in total. And about halfway through this last one, it just started bubbling out the top here, which I've never seen that personally, and I'm sure it's just a 1 in a million malfunction, so I will definitely be bringing that back for a refund. But anyways, just wanted to say that, you know, it's got, you know, 3 coats everywhere now, and thick ones too, so everything should be good and coated and covered. Okay, so this is about as far as we're going on this axle for this video. I'm going to be needing to buy new brake drums and a whole bunch of stuff, and considering the truck won't even be on the road for months, it's going to sit like this, just let the paint good and cure, and just basically not going to touch it or do anything with it until I'm ready to start putting this thing back together. So anyways, just want to say thank you for watching. This was a lot of work, very time consuming, but I feel like the results are definitely worth it.